Making some eggs and toast for breakfast here.
Nice work.
Thank you.
Are you ready for another round of categories? Woohoo! I think. Yeah. Are we on list 7? Yep.
What's going on today?
It's Easter!
It's Monday, April 9th, and I'm out here at Centennial Park playing some disc golf with my buddies Brandon and Brandon. Got my start in youth ministry by working with and for these guys. So we're just enjoying the weather here. Nice. Oh, see it. Alright. It's Wednesday, April 11th, and yesterday I sent out a tweet that said, you know, despite the fact that I'm bald and my head is pretty cold all the time, it felt like a pretty normal day. I'm feeling almost no side effects aside from being tired and the continued GI issues, which I think that we have sort of found our rhythm, so to speak, with that. For the most part, this has been the easiest round of treatment so far these past 2 weeks. I had a few days that were less than ideal, but the time that it took to recover from those days was less. The days that I do feel good, I feel really good. So I'm not really sure just yet how to process that, whether it's a fluke or whether the next treatments will be just as easy or easier, or whether, you know, whether we'll regress to more difficult treatment. But in any case, I'm elated that I feel the way that I do, considering the possible ways that I could feel, and am looking forward to well, I'm anticipating the next treatment this coming Friday, and to see what's different and what's the same. Hopefully we'll learn on Friday whether or not I'll have a upcoming PET scan to determine the progress of the tumors, whether or not they are responding appropriately to treatment, responding quickly, responding slowly. But that's some information that I'm looking forward to. I just don't know when that happens quite yet. But, you know, continue to be surrounded by incredible people who go above and beyond to support Libby and I, and continue to be really thankful for that. So anyway, got a long day of work ahead, a long day of distraction and doing what I love, so I'm looking forward to doing that and feeling well enough to do so. Today is the day of treatment number 4, hopefully of only 8, and that means that after today we're halfway done with the chemo treatment, potentially. How are you feeling about chemo number 4?
I feel good. I'm actually really excited to meet with Dr. Freeman today, the new doctor, and ask him questions, and I'm really anxious to hear when you'll have your PET scan so that we can determine if you need more chemo or how much more chemo, because my understanding is they'll do the PET scan, determine how much the tumor is shrunk, and then determine how many more chemo treatments just to be sure, and then radiation. So I'm excited.
You have anything to say about treatment number 4, class? Here, Libby.
Getting a bagel with cream cheese and a chai latte.
And what else?
Seeing what we can get for the nurses. What do you have there?
Sausage, egg, and cheese sandwich from Panera. A little bit of coffee to make sure I don't just pass out when I'm on the table.
On the table?
On the bed. the chemo, or the hospital bed, hospital table, same thing.
Gotcha. How is the sandwich? I've never had a breakfast sandwich from Panera.
It's delectable.
Better than McDonald's?
Less greasy.
Which means yes, better.
No. We're just waiting for the doctor now. Every time you go in for chemo, you have to get blood work, and then you have to meet with your doctor, and then you can go upstairs and get chemo. And so we're waiting for the doctor to come in. I've got a list of questions to ask, so.
Plans for Hodgkin lymphoma. And there's more pages than this, but this one talks about stage 1 to 2 with any unfavorable features or bulky disease. Right? So you have bulky disease, stage 2, 2B. And so ABVD for 4 cycles or a total of 8 doses, and then you restage with a PET-CT. Okay? If that's a complete response, CR, complete response, then you either go on to radiation therapy if you know you're comfortable doing that, or 2 more cycles of ABVD followed by radiation therapy, and then on to routine follow-up. Either way, you're going into just surveillance after that. If you have a nice response but not complete response, all right, then you still go ahead and do a couple more cycles of ABVD, and then you repeat the PET, see if you made more progress. If you didn't, then you might be talking about radiation versus biopsy, and then figuring out whether you need to go in a different direction, or if you have progressive disease, then you obviously need to do something different, right? So these are unusual scenarios, but there's a plan in place to address those. What we see most of the time when we restage is a CR, and then your 2 cycles of ABD versus radiation therapy. Okay. And the truth is, nobody knows which of these is necessarily better. Okay. Most people think that early stage Hodgkin's you can treat with just the 4 cycles of ABVD followed by radiation therapy. Okay. You definitely need radiation in the bulky area. Right. And then we'll kind of go from there.
This is what Libby does during chemo.
On the internet. Thinking about doing some homework. Probably should do some homework.
Here we are in chemo treatment number 4. We just found out today that I was totally wrong, that the PET scan will happen after 8 treatments, not 4 treatments. And so by then, maybe the tumor is completely disappeared. But, so, after this, it could be halfway done, and that would be awesome. That was halfway done. So we're just here in the corner room, kind of a breezy, spitting rain day, just passing the time.
What do you think of our new doctor?
It's awesome. He's a good dude. Treatment number 4 in the books. I'm at Panera Bread right now, getting ready to leave to head to my next massage appointment. Just posted the latest Cancer and Theology blog post, which is fantastic, and hopefully we'll spend some time at work today getting some other stuff done. I'm here at Anne's massage studio. Anne has been a huge blessing to me in this process, and so every couple of weeks around the time when I have just finished up chemo, Anne will give me a massage. And so a couple of times she's come into our home graciously and done that in our house, and today I'm here at her studio. This is Anne.
Hello.
She is wonderful, and I'm looking forward to the next half hour. It's Monday, April 16th, 3 full days after my 4th treatment, and much like the last treatment, the symptoms are definitely not as bad as they were the first 2 times. My tongue and my mouth and my throat are a little sore, but the soreness is almost a shadow of what the first 2 times were like. So today and tomorrow, time-wise, based on the first few treatments, would be the worst. And so they probably will be the worst, but the worst this time around doesn't mean unbearable. It simply means sort of a nuisance. I'm feeling pretty nauseous yesterday and today, really tired. Yesterday I came home from church, fell asleep for a few hours, and then went to bed at like 8:30 last night, slept for 12 hours. So my body is definitely working hard to recuperate. So this week shouldn't be too terrible. In this process of making these videos and sharing my story through video blogs and my own blog, I've tried to be as transparent as possible, but one thing that I realize is that I may not, while I touch on a lot, I may not answer all the questions there are. So I'm going to try something this time. It may totally bomb, it may not bomb, but if you have questions or comments for me, what do certain things feel like? How am I feeling? How's Libby doing? What's it like to have a port? What is it? I mean, any question at all that you can think of that you're watching these videos and you're thinking to yourself, I wonder about this, or I wonder about that. Leave a comment. Leave a comment on this YouTube video, or leave a comment on this blog post. And if you don't want it to be a public question, you can send me an email, and you can get that by clicking contact on the top right of my website. But send me your questions and let me know the things that you want to know about this process, because I'm not doing this just to be able to watch myself on camera. I'm doing this to help other people get some insight into what this is like. So send me your comments.